Welcome to Season 4 of She Lancer, Mom Entrepreneur with VoiceOver Angela. I'm your host, Angela. I'm a full-time voiceover artist and audiobook narrator, and this podcast are the audio versions of my live Q&A chats on YouTube. If you'd like to be part of the live Q&A chats, come on over to my YouTube channel, VoiceOver Angela. I'm live every Tuesday at 12 p.m. EST. We talk about voiceover, the business of voiceover, audiobooks, and so much more. Find more information on my website, voiceoverangela.com. Enjoy today's episode. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thank you for joining me again for another live community chat here on my channel, VoiceOver Angela. If you're new here, welcome. We welcome you with warm, open arms. My name is Angela. I am a full-time voiceover artist and audiobook narrator. And my channel here on YouTube is dedicated to those of you just getting started out in this wonderful world of voiceover and audiobook narration. And through my channel, I share with you tips and tricks and things that I do every day in my own voiceover business. And then we get together in these weekly chats to answer your questions and to talk about specific topics that usually come from the questions that you ask me most often. So let's talk it out as a group because, as I always say, my opinions are not the only ones out there, right? So hopefully something in this conversation today will help you. You'll find little nuggets here and there, right, to help you move forward. If you're not new here, then you know that every week we have a new poll, which is generally the topic of the day. And today's poll is, what is your typical audition to job ratio? And so far we have about 16 votes, and 6% of you said 10 auditions will equal 1 to 2 jobs. It keeps changing. 6% of you said 20 auditions will equal 2 to 5 jobs. And then 30 auditions will equal about 3 to 8 jobs. And then most of you, 65%, said I haven't won any jobs yet. So there really isn't a perfect way to set up the poll and getting the answers that I really wanted. So if you are in the category of I haven't won any jobs yet, please elaborate. How many auditions have you submitted? Or if you have even submitted any auditions yet, I want to know why or what led to that, if that makes sense. So if you have yet to submit an audition, let me know. And if you've submitted a bunch but haven't won any, then also let me know, basically. But really, your answers for the options there, the 10 auditions equals 1 to 2 jobs, 20 auditions equals 2 to 5 jobs, and then 30 auditions equals 3 to 8 jobs. That's pretty typical. I mean, generally if you think of it from like a sales perspective, a 10% return on your investment of time is pretty typical, roughly, right? So and not everybody is going to be the same. I know people that submit 5 auditions and get 5 jobs. I know people who submit 90 auditions and maybe get 1 job. I think, as always, you have to remember that if you don't get the job, if you're submitting a lot of auditions, it could be that your voice is just not suited to for the project that you're auditioning for, right? Because you have to remember that it's very subjective to, it's not just, if it was about price, that would be one thing, but your voice is very unique to you. It's very unique sounding, right? So it's not going to be perfect for every job. And it could be that you're auditioning for jobs that are not very well suited for your kind of voice either, right? So there are so many variables to consider. It's not just like a price thing, right? But if you are in the camp where you're submitting a lot of auditions, I'm talking like 50, 60, 70 and not seeing any kind of return, there could be something else going on that it might behoove you to get feedback on your demos, get feedback on your sound, get feedback on the room, the equipment, just to make sure that there isn't something that you're missing. Because as we record things day to day to day, we just get accustomed to the way that we sound when we're recorded, and we don't realize that there's something that's missing, right? It could be very well that you're, and I've run into this a lot actually, where people have the microphone and the interface and the equipment, but for whatever reason, the settings in their computer are not recognizing the interface as the input. And so they're recording themselves using their computer's microphone, or they're talking into the wrong side of the microphone, or there could be a ceiling fan in the room that's causing a low end noise that they just don't recognize because they're accustomed to it being there, right? There could be something going on in your audio that it might be holding you back from getting that job. So, in that respect, I would either get a hold of a coach, a mentor, a mastermind group, a Facebook group, somewhere where you can get feedback on your demos and the audio quality of your room. That is going to be a huge step forward in improving your odds of winning a job. Tangent number 1. All right, let's hop over to the comments and see who's here to see what you guys are doing. And if you have any tips, and we'll talk about a few today, like best practices, things that I recommend that you do and maybe don't do within your auditions. If you have something, if you have a pearl or a nugget to add to share with the group today, then please do so in the comments. It'll be appreciated. Let's share some wisdom. First in is Christina. Hey, Christina. How you doing? Good morning. She says, I'm not sure how to vote on this again because you are an author who narrates your own stuff. I get it. It would be kind of hard to answer that. Again, I'm in the weird place. Good morning. I'm early and brought blueberry coffee cake to share. You did? Oh my God, you're speaking my language. I love it. Dylan says, good morning, all. I'm about 3 auditions for every job ratio. That's pretty good. It's pretty good, Dylan. But I am very picky about the jobs I audition for, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. That's not a bad thing to be picky about the auditions, because you shouldn't just shotgun auditions, right? Not just, throwing your voice out there for everything. It has to be something, especially when we're talking audiobooks, it has to be something that is within the time frame that you have to dedicate to this. It has to be something, I would recommend anyway, be something that you're interested in, because that interest is going to come out in your read, right? Something that you're interested in is definitely going to help. My time is limited, so I don't want to spend it working on a book I really don't like. And that's what it comes down to. And that will come through in your narration. Eric says, that's a great ratio, Dylan. Yeah, it is. I'm in a slump at the moment. Many auditions and nothing is catching, feast or famine. I think maybe we should talk more about that and figure out, because remember, keep in mind that it's always going to be subjective. But maybe we should talk a little bit more about that in Thursday's group. A little bit more elaboration on that. Pamela says, good morning, making the coffee. Gotta have coffee. First thing I do in the morning before I do anything else. Coffee. Caesar's here. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Caesar. Nothing to contribute at the moment, but Angela needs to drop the hair care routine. Shampoo, conditioner, and BioSilk. It helps the curl. I have this natural curl, so it helps to not be frizzy. That's about it, Caesar. Deanna's here. Good morning, Deanna. Hi, love. Hello, Deanna. Back from sabbatical in Brazil. God, how nice is that? Ready to work. I think I forgot everything. Oops. Well, you're in the right place. This is a good start anyway. Welcome back. KLS is here. Good morning from Texas. Good morning, KLS. Caesar said, also, I recently discovered that one of my mics is defective. Oh, no. Which one? So I'm having it replaced. Should arrive this week. Oh, no. Which one? Oh, no. Dylan says to Eric, not very impressive, as I've only done 11 books up to this point. Dylan, that ratio is impressive. Just take the compliment. but it's only been 7 months since I started. Okay, okay, can we just analyze that statement for a minute? Let's analyze the facts. 3 auditions to every job. You've only been doing this for 7 months and already have 11 books. I'd say you're doing pretty darn good, Dylan. Just take the compliment. Hang on, I just saw a super chat. Sean Lester, thank you so much for the super chat, for feeding my coffee habit. I appreciate you. If I have plenty of work to do with existing clients, should I still continue to audition? What would be the advantage to keep auditioning? You know, Sean, I'm kind of in the same place that you are. I'm blessed with repeat clients, with a pretty decent book of clients that come back for various things time and time again. So I don't find myself auditioning much. Really, I'm very lucky in that respect. But I think if there's perhaps something that you want to try, or something that maybe you enjoy doing that you're not hired for a lot, and that you would like to get into or start exploring or do more of, then yeah, then audition. But if you're in the camp that to feed the creative soul, you know, but if you just don't have the bandwidth to to give to this new endeavor, to actually audition, that's something different. If you have the time and the bandwidth to explore new creative outlets, I guess it's a better way of putting it, then yes, absolutely audition. But if you don't have the bandwidth and the time, and you don't really need the extra cash, and you're cool with where you are, then maybe not, kind of stay in your lane that you're currently in. It just depends on how you're feeling, and what it is that you want to explore. But I think also, on that same note, keeping continuous reaching out to new clients and expanding your horizons is never a bad thing, right? To keep potential clients and potential jobs in the future pipeline. That's just something else you have to do as a business owner. You have to keep things coming in, right? So maybe if you have maybe a little extra bandwidth, or something that is coming to an end in the near future, with a client on a big project or something, then definitely start auditioning, start to feed that pipeline so you're not sitting idle, right? So I guess it just depends on what your thought process is, or where you are mentally and with your business as far as work-wise now, and if that creative, void is screaming for something new to do. It just depends on how you feel about all of that, I suppose. Is that a tangent? I guess that could be a tangent. Thank you so much for the super chat, Sean. I appreciate you. Where did I leave off? Right here. Laura. Hey, Laura. Thank you for commenting and interacting with all my YouTube videos. I appreciate you. Good morning from Utah. Good morning from Arizona. KLS is here. I am brand new, and I don't even have a studio yet. I'm just following you for all the excellent tips you have. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. And you know what? We all started in that same place. We all started at ground zero without a studio, or, not really knowing what the heck to do. We just grabbed a microphone and started recording. But you are on, I would say, a good path. You're in the research phase, and you're starting to gather information on what to do, what not to do. So it's a good place to be. Just don't allow yourself to get stuck in the research or procrastinating stage, as we call it here. So, take all the notes, get all the info, and move forward. Just make sure that you're always moving forward, no matter how small the steps. Just be sure you're moving forward. And welcome to the voiceover family. Deanna says, I haven't submitted anything yet. Scared, lack of confidence and time. Time is one thing. Confidence is a whole other thing. So what can you do to build some confidence? I think finishing a project, no matter how small it is, will definitely give you confidence. If you're looking to do audiobooks, I say volunteer with LibriVox, LibriVox.org. I've talked about it many times in a lot of my videos, especially the ACX and audiobook videos. I talk about LibriVox, whether you could volunteer to narrate a book in the public domain. It's either a book in its entirety or a section of a book, a chapter of a book. But in doing that, you not only finish something and then know that you can, right? You get a feel for a project from start to finish. You say, okay, I can narrate, I can edit, I can format, I can do all these things. And that just a little bit of confidence might just be enough to help you move forward, right? Or just go do that one audition. We talked about this last week, or was it last week or the week before when we talked about 1, 2, 3, count to 5 and then just act, just do, right? Don't think about anything else, just do it, whatever it is, submit that audition. And then once that's done, the confidence you gain from that will be huge. And it might be just what you need to step out of that little circle of comfort. MG Stevens here. Good morning, MG. Good morning, Angela and everyone. I had a better ratio last year than this year. I am working on focusing on other areas of VO this year, so I guess that could be a factor, but still lots of auditions. What other areas are you focusing on? Inquiring minds want to know. Please share. Bear338 is here. Hello. Crap, forgot this was Tuesday. Yes, I'm late and brought donuts. Good. Good. I lose all track of time and day in this little room. There's no windows. I get it. I feel it. JCCAOL is here. I will submit some auditions this year, though I would like to try direct marketing. With my situation having to work a security job and teaching online, this choice may be the most practical. I think so, but if your concern is teaching online or working a security job, is it both? Even if you're direct marketing, you're still going to have to audition. You're still going to have to be available during the daytime if that's what you're referring to. Is a security job like a nighttime thing? Or you're still going to have to make yourself probably more available during off hours than... So I think auditioning is still... I would do both. I would definitely audition and direct market. Masonry Construction says, I haven't won audiobook auditions. Other VO auditions on Upwork and Fiverr, probably 2 or 3 out of 10. That's still pretty good. On Upwork, it's a victory just to get your proposal viewed. Yeah. I mean, you have to consider on places like that, there are just hundreds of thousands of other voice artists who are available on those sites that have probably sent proposals as well. So I think especially on sites like Upwork, where you can submit a proposal for a job, one thing to keep in mind, and we talk about this, I think maybe we have a few times, but one thing to keep in mind about Upwork is and this really goes with any audition, is just to make sure that you understand what they're asking for, right? And I'm not saying that you're not doing this or doing this, but just for anybody watching, anytime that you have an audition, like the tech specs, like the instructions, the directions, I know some of them are vague, but the ones that are not, that actually give you everything that they need, then make sure that you understand what they're looking for. And if it is a vague, if anything is vague in there that could go in your perspective, could go a couple of different ways, then give them a couple of different options in your read, right? Your audition, you could say at the very start, you could say, take one of two, and then after the next tone or version, you say, take 2 of 2. I typically do that with video games and auditions that could, in my perspective, go a couple of different ways. Like it's not very clear. Maybe they're looking for something that's engaging and maybe upbeat, but not super bubbly, right? So in my perspective, that could be a couple of different things. So I would give them a couple of different takes. Also, while we're on the topic of submitting auditions, oh, no, actually, I forgot one thing I was going to mention about Upwork. Sometimes the Upwork proposals or the listings for jobs will have something at the very bottom or something in the middle that says, be sure to include blue cheetah in the very top of your proposal to make sure that you've read all the way through. So They wouldn't do that unless they're getting proposals that have nothing to do with what they're asking for, right? So again, make sure that you're reading through the entire description of what the audition needs to be. Make sure you understand it and then give your best interpretation of that. And also put your name in the audition file, your full name, not your initials, not your first name, last initial, your full name. Because it could very well be that they are downloading your audition and then they could be the third party. They could be the video creator and they have to share these samples, these auditions, like they'll narrow it down to the top 10, download them, and then share them with the client. And then once the client chooses one, if it's yours, your name isn't on it. They're going to go, I don't really remember where I found this one. Right. And then they go on to the next one because there's a name on it. Right. So don't be that guy. Put your name in the actual name of the file, right? That's just a good practice. And while we're on the topic slating, I don't slate. I don't think slating is a thing anymore. If you think about from the customer's perspective or the client's perspective, if they have like 100 auditions to listen through, and to Masonry Construction's point, if there's going to be 100 auditions, it could very well be that they find their top 2 in the first 50 they listen to, and so they don't need to listen through anymore. Right? So you need to audition like as soon as you see something. But I still lost my train of thought. Where was I going with the number of auditions? Oh, that's right. So if they have 100 auditions to listen through, then a slate at the beginning is not really going to, they're going to be looking for what their copy sounds like in your voice. And if your voice is going to be suited to the project. So don't like leave 5 seconds of silence at the beginning. Don't put in a, hey, my name is blah, blah. And, here's my take of this script. Just get right to it. Just get right to it. Let them hear, because they'll know in the first few seconds if you're the right fit for that job or not, right? If you want to make a personal note, then put it in the audition text. You can usually send a message with your audition. If you have any clarifying questions, or if you think maybe this could potentially have a few more different tones to include, put all of that in the description or the message that you send with the audition, but get right to the point in the audition. I think that they're going to thank you for that, for getting just right to it. Tangent number 3. Joe Pace is here. Hello, Joe. This is also helpful. Oh, good. I'm glad. Joe. JCCAOL says, Angela, I brought you a giant croissant. I love it. I love croissant. Caesar said, I'm scared too, Deanna. As soon as I work up the confidence to do anything, something else comes up. I've been working on being better, and hopefully I can really get out there soon, like this month. I think you're ready, Caesar. You're more than ready. You're more than ready. Come on. Writer Dude says, morning, morning, morning. Best Tom Walker voice. I don't know Tom Walker's voice. Good morning, everyone. This is Colette. Good morning, Colette. How are you? Foxy Lady says, hi, Angela. I have provided sugar-free donuts. They make sugar-free donuts? That just seems wrong. Doesn't it? Sugar-free. Janelle. Hi, Janelle. Good morning. Morning, Angela and Angelinians. The results vary. Even when I may not get the job after an audition, I've received encouraging or nice replies from authors. I use that feedback to help and to do better, of course. And it is so nice when they do that, because not everybody is going to give you feedback. That's another question I get a lot. If you remember when I mentioned that someone's going to get, like if an author posts a job, they're soliciting auditions for a book, for an audiobook project. They may get 50 to 100 plus auditions for that book. You can't expect them to sit and write 100 responses and giving everyone feedback on their auditions. So when they do stop and give feedback and thank you and say, hey, this is great, maybe not for even this project, but maybe the next project, That's fabulous. So always respond to that. If they took the time to do that, then you take the time to respond. Thank you so much for the time and the note, right? I appreciate that. Always be polite and professional and grateful, right? Caesar says, I also have been having some confusion in discovering my niche. I'm a very creative person with a creative mind. Yeah, you got that right. But I also have to pay the bills, hence the day job. If I can do what I love and make money, that would be the absolute golden monkey, or however people say it, the golden monkey. I think we're going to have to say that now. That's the golden monkey. um, so you could do what I did because I pigeonholed myself before I even really tried everything. I said, okay, I'm only going to do audiobooks because I'm a book nerd. I want to do audiobooks. That's all I'm going to do. But then people started to ask me, "Hey, do you know how to do this? I see you do audiobooks, but have you ever done this? Or could you do this?" Or and then you Google it really quick and you watch a YouTube video and you go, "Oh yeah, I could totally do that." And then it just sort of snowballs. But my point is just try everything. Your clients will tell you what your niche is, what your voice is best suited for. What they hire you for most will be your niche, right? Your money voice, as they say. Your golden monkey voice. I think we need to use that. Music. Good morning. I'm here. You can finally get started. So this is hard to answer since I'm just starting, but none of my jobs have come because of an audition. But just my profile in ACX. Well, that's a good thing too. And keep in mind, for those of you who don't know, 60% of the jobs booked through ACX, which is the audiobook arm of Audible, where narrators and authors come together to make books or audiobooks, 60% of those jobs are booked through auditions. 40% of those jobs are booked through the sample section. So make sure that you're also including samples and that you're posting samples regularly to stay at the top of that search or that search list of available samples. That's impressive. The Anxious Gamer is here. Hello, Anxious Gamer. Where are some places other than ACX to find auditions? I've done well over 50 and nothing sticks. I think, well, as far as like actually auditioning, there's not a whole lot of places where you can proactively audition. Most of them are you put up a profile and you just sort of wait until somebody finds you. But I think if you're doing auditions, also, like I just mentioned, make sure that you're also posting those auditions as samples, right? Lots of samples, often, regularly, to stay at the top of that list. If you've done over 50 and you haven't won any jobs, then I would say for you, just to be sure, make sure that you meet up with a group, a coach, a mentor, even like a Facebook group that allows you to get, to post demos for feedback, like mine, the voiceover or the VO workshop. I allow people to do that. Just to get feedback on your sound quality. Maybe your pacing, maybe there's noise that you don't, recognize because you're just accustomed to it being there. So for you, that's what I would do, just to make sure, to get some peer feedback on your auditions before you move forward. Okay, that was the remainder of the Golden Monkey. Dylan is doing awesome. Yes, he is. Dylan, you are doing more than awesome. You're doing better than awesome. Sandra Wiesner is here. I've done over 50 auditions on ACX without results. The books I'm doing are from Upwork. Well, that's awesome. See, Upwork, don't ever overlook Upwork or Fiverr for audiobooks. My audiobook gig on Fiverr gets more traction, and I'd say most of my audiobooks right now come from Fiverr. Close second would be direct contact, people finding me on social media and then reaching out to me on my website. And then after that would be Upwork. So definitely don't overlook those sites for audiobook work. Caesar says, I'm replacing my Lewitt. Oh no. So the Lewitt was defective? I used to run it through a very bad audio interface that may have had unstable power delivery. and placing it with a multi-pattern LCT 441 flex. Interesting. Oh, no. Rustic Hillbilly is here. Good morning, all. Good morning, Rustic Hillbilly. How are you? Still snowing in Oregon? Caesar said, I've also been thinking content creation would be a niche for me. I think so too. I have microphones I can review. Why not put them up on YouTube? I feel like the creative process helps kill imposter syndrome for me. That's a great idea. You are sort of one of the tech guys in our platinum group. So if you have the equipment, you have the know-how, you know how everything works, share that. Share that with people. Absolutely. Get online, get in front of their faces. Do it. Christina says to Janelle, can't wait to hear you read on Sunday. Thanks again for the late commitment. Old Slacker says, hi, Angela. Hi, Old Slacker. Hi, chat. I hope everyone's in good health. So far, so good. So far, so good. Tycon Delar says, hi, Angela. Hello. Good morning from Texas. How often did you audition when you had a full-time job? I have found it difficult to find the time to do more than 5 per day. That's pretty much what I did. Being employed full-time, because I only had a couple of hours a night in here to dedicate, so about the same. 1 to 5. How many would I do a week? I would say I probably didn't do any more than maybe 10 to 20 in a week, to be honest. I had a little bit of a slow start only because of lack of time. Same thing. I didn't have a whole lot of time to commit to a large project. Definitely a lot more than one at a time. So I didn't audition a lot, but I was afraid of auditioning a lot because what if I got the jobs and then I would be, overwhelmed quickly. And my coach at the time had told me, well, what's the worst that can happen? That's not a bad thing to get more than one job. You just have to schedule them appropriately. You have to schedule them back to back. You don't have to do them at the exact same time. Because if you get one job offer and you take it, and then the next day you get a second one, don't turn it down. Tell the customer, hey, I'm in the middle of a book now. I can, if you're flexible, I could be available on X day after the first book is done to start this book. And if that's going to work for you, then let's do it. Right? And then you have back-to-back work instead of turning it down if their time frame is flexible, right? Deanna says, thanks for the opportunity confidence advice. LibriVox. Do I have it? Do I have it in a banner? Oh, I do. Look at that. I had the foresight. LibriVox.org. There we go. See, every little seed you plant pays off in some way or another. LibriVox.org. There you go. All right. And then, of course, I lost my place. There we go. JCZAOL says, teaching online is my security job. Oh, I see what you're saying. Though it takes up a lot of time, so I can make a quota. I am trying to get some different teaching jobs to free up time. And you could turn that teaching experience into passive income by making courses. And you're a voiceover artist, so you could do the voiceover. Just saying. Dylan says, a tip from a beginner with limited time. Focus on projects that you feel fit your voice. 110% agree. If you lack time, don't waste it by auditioning for things that aren't a good fit. Absolutely. Robert Reed says, how do you spell the volunteer reading program? That was LibriVox. Everybody's asking LibriVox. The volunteer reading program. Well, I'm going to put it up here one more time. This is LibriVox.org. You can sign up there and volunteer to narrate books in the public domain, either in their entirety or a chapter, a section, whatever is available. You get to choose. Everybody's asking about LibriVox. Dylan says to Caesar, mic reviews are a great idea for you. They are absolutely a great idea. You are knowledgeable and entertaining. Yes, and people will hear your voice like butter. Absolutely. Caesar said, I thought you wanted to know how to spell the volunteer reading program. Stop it. Janelle says to Chris, thanks. I can't wait to get together with the group and bring the drama, audio drama. It's not a tangent if it's about auditions. You are on topic today. Well, okay, that's true. All right. Caesar says to Dylan, I've got an idea for one, actually. We'll do one for the LCT 441 Flex when it arrives, which might be tomorrow. Woohoo! I've got new gear rush. New gear day is always a good day. Bear338 says, Caesar, dude, you are ready. Yes, absolutely. Chris says to Janelle, this is so happening this time around. Thanks to Jamie and Wendy pushing us along. Yeah, I'm glad that we are keeping that dream alive. Old Slacker says, an audition I did for a book about positive thinking was turned down, and I'm still processing the irony. I know you're making a joke, but don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. They probably had a voice in their head, and your voice just wasn't it. But you can still remain positive and think positive. Caesar says to Bear, I think so. I feel like I really am. It's my time to shine, mostly because I'm covered head to toe in mercury. Stop, Deanna says. Caesar, we've got this. I'm jumping back in. We can do this. I love it. You guys are just so supportive of each other. That's right. Mon ami, just do it. That's right. Bear says, Angela, I'm a little freaked out. Someone on our Thursday group asked me for a voice sample for her project, and here I am going, I don't have this or that. I am leaping this evening. Anyone know Reaper? Get on to Discord, because said girl is usually on Discord and knows Reaper very well and can probably help you with that if she's available and willing. Of course, I don't speak for you, but what she's referring to is our audio drama project that we're doing through the group. She wrote it, and everybody has a different character, and it's sort of whittled out a little bit. So we're trying to bring it back and get this back up to speed. But that would definitely be something that you should be a part of. But Discord would be the place to go to ask questions and get help with Reaper. Our platinum group Discord, I should say. I think this is Brian. This is Brian. Yeah, this is Brian Mitchell. My child changed my name and I didn't realize it. It's okay. At least it was something that was PG, right? Masonry Construction says, regarding work on Upwork, I filter to only jobs with no more than 10 to 15 proposals. Also, look at on Upwork when client last looked at proposals. A few days to week plus don't proceed. That's true. If the client on Upwork isn't very available or doesn't check in often, that would be something I wouldn't be part of. Yeah, if they're not on it, right? Laura says, golden monkey voice broadcast with a banana mic. There's your YouTube channel, Caesar. Golden monkey voice with a banana mic. Robert Reed says, hi, everyone. Hey, Robert. Joy is here, the embodiment of joy. How you doing, Joy? Hello, everyone, from a pleasant 61 degrees Southfield, Michigan. VO Atlanta was awesome. And even though I came back sick in bed with a nasty cold, I learned enough to take my business to the next level. That's awesome. That's awesome. And if a little cold was a price to pay for that great information, it was worth it. It was worth it. Brian says, don't forget to like and subscribe. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. I always feel oogie when I ask people to do that. But yes, that would benefit me, my channel, and anyone looking for this information, because it'll tell the YouTube algorithms that you guys actually like my tangents and they may be helpful to other people. So definitely. Thank you. Thank you, Brian. Dylan says, thank you, Masonry Construction, for the Upwork advice. I'm constantly looking for Upwork advice. Hopefully I can find my golden monkey job on there soon. I think I still have a few older, albeit older videos on my channel about Upwork, but I do have a few, and we do talk about Upwork a little bit in our platinum group. Should we talk about Upwork more? We talk about Fiverr, I think, more than anything else, and ACX as far as platforms. Caesar says, I just realized I recognize that banner style and animation. Do you use StreamYard? I do. I do use StreamYard. I love StreamYard. Dwight says, hello, Angela and company. Sorry I'm late. Here's the donuts from Flanders. They're the best. So we have donuts, croissants, blueberry coffee cake. It's my kind of morning. MT Steven says, I'd really like to get into e-learning education and corporate narration. I'm working on my marketing plan to target these areas and fine-tuning a new DIY demo. Sounds like you got a plan, MG. Go get it. Go get it. Christina says to Dwight, sending you a DM in Discord. See, all over it. All over it. Chris is all over it. Caesar says, oh, hey, Dwight, how are you feeling? We miss you over at Discord. That's right, Dwight. I hope everything is going well. Chris says the audio drama has recording dates and times. It's on in full swing. Yes, I saw that we had a couple of events on Discord for the audio drama. Dwight says, hi, Caesar. I'm doing okay. If the coding meds, but I still a one-winged wonder. Very tired. Thanks for asking. A one-winged wonder. Say that 10 times fast. You know what we should do really quick is check the poll. Again, today's poll was, where'd it go? Here it is. What is your typical audition to job ratio? Let's just check this really quick. So we have 42 votes now. So 10% of you said 10 auditions will equal 1 to 2 jobs. 12% of you said 20 auditions equals 2 to 5. And then 12% of you also said 30 auditions equals 3 to 8. And then 67% of you said I haven't won any jobs yet. And that was kind of a trick question because, I mean, those are all very normal. Those are all pretty normal. And again, from a sales perspective, 10% is a pretty typical ROI, is a pretty typical return on investment, right? So if you're doing better than that, then you're in a great place. So definitely keep going. Just keep going. It's awesome. All right, let me hide this banner and then go back over here. Where do we leave off? I think we're here. Chris says the, nope, we already saw that one. Caesar, Dylan. There we go. Dylan says, Bear338, the group member you're talking about, turned me on to the course from Booth Junkie explaining Reaper that really helps. She knows her stuff. Yeah, she does. And so does Booth Junkie. If you're new to the voiceover industry and you are not following Booth Junkie on YouTube, definitely do that. He's got great tips and advice on tech stuff. Well, really all stuff, but mostly tech. Dylan says, good to see you, Dwight. Hope you're recovering well. Leslie says, good morning. I'm back from VO Atlanta and learned so much. I brought chocolate chip cookies for being late. Wow. You guys know me so well. Looking forward to the audio drama. I am too. Dylan says, yes, please, more Upwork. I like auditioning better than just throwing my demos on a profile and hoping to be discovered. Yes, I like having the ability to be proactive. Absolutely. Because a lot of the sites we're on, you really can't unless in some instances it'd be like a paying member in order to audition. You're just kind of sitting and waiting for someone to find you. Okay, we'll talk about Upwork more often. Awesome. We'll do that, Dylan. And the group, for those of you that don't know, the group that he's talking about is my platinum group. If you want to be part of our, I guess it's a mastermind group where we meet every week and we scripts and all kinds of fun things. Check it out on my website, voiceoverangela.com. Go to the plans and pricing page. It's the platinum group. That's what we are talking about. Sandra Weisner says, I have reached the level where I am a paid consultant now for Upwork. That's awesome. And also, did I tell you guys that I'm a trainer now for Fiverr? I'm an official Fiverr trainer, which is pretty cool. The gig should go live. Well, technically it's already live, but I think that's going to be something that's going to be starting at the end of this month, I think. Brian says, I'm interested in Upwork because it sounds more active, whereas Fiverr is more passive. Absolutely. All right. So we'll focus on more Upwork. Bear338 says to Dylan, I have been watching his videos. Cold feet is a real thing. Uh-huh. Joy says, Leslie, I was there too. It was awesome. Yeah, I missed it this year. I've got a wedding that I've got to put all my extra money to. Next year. I want to go next year, though. MG Steven says, I'm juggling today and in and out of chat, so hope I'm not duplicating. But one thing I do before I start auditions is recite a dozen or so tongue twisters. That helps me loosen everything up. That's a good practice. It's a good practice to definitely loosen things up and to do some mouth exercises, get everything warmed up, especially if you have like a clicky jaw, if you have like TMJ like I do, where you have a clicky jaw and it just hurts, is to kind of loosen everything up a bit. Or like those little like personal massagers, to warm up everything with vibration. The Anxious Gamer says, I appreciate these live streams very much, Angela. I struggle with my mental health a lot and tend to put aside my voiceover endeavor quite often. And so I'm trying to be better. Oh, well, we got you. We got you. You can't feel it, but we're all virtually hugging you right now, Anxious Gamer. Warm embraces all around. Caesar says, can you like audition for stuff on Upwork like you do on ACX? Yes, you can. There's a couple different ways to win work on Upwork. One is to create a profile where people can come and find you and send you an invitation to interview for the job. Or you can go search through the jobs listed and then submit a proposal. However, proposals will cost you connects. Connects is sort of like Upwork's in-game currency. You have to buy them and then you use them to submit proposals. And job proposals can cost you anywhere from 2 to 12 connects, right? And they're about 15 cents each, roughly. So there's a couple different ways to go about it. But yeah. Dylan says, yes. Chris says, in reference to the Reaper setup, I don't have my updated setup videos edited yet, but will help where I can. You rock. We appreciate anything and everything that you do, Chris. Dylan says, but if it costs connects to audition, you get so many for free, but then they have to be purchased. That's right. If you sign up, they give you, is it 80 now? They keep changing things. They give you 80 or 90 for free, I think, and then you have to pay for them after that. Or you can sign up to be a member, and then I think now it's like $20 a month. I think it's like $20 a month, but then they give you, they keep changing it. So I'm gonna have to go back and refresh a little bit, but they give you with that membership fee, they give you like 200 and something, I think, connects a month with that. And then they roll over, so they accumulate. Oh my goodness. Caesar, thank you. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate you. Train me, Angela. Train me like one of your French girls. You're so funny. Stop. Oh my God. I love your sense of humor. You are so funny. Thank you for the super chat, Caesar. I appreciate you. Oh my God. Joy says, I took my DIY commercial demo for a class at VO Atlanta, and the instructor said my voice sounded great for commercials, but the audio not so great. The booth guy said to get an XLR mic. Any suggestions? Yes, absolutely. An XLR mic will definitely help. I have two answers to that. One is I have some microphones that I recommend that I've either used myself on my website, voiceoverangela.com. Go to VO Gear. There's a whole page of stuff like gear and things that I recommend that I've either used myself or that I know credible people who have used and love, or I'd say and also talk to Caesar. Joy, you're in our platinum group. Talk to Caesar. Caesar could tell you some great suggestions for XLR mics. Brian says, doesn't Fiverr now have a way to audition proposals? Not that I'm aware of. They used to have buyer requests, but they don't do that anymore. They have bids or match. They like match buyers to something that you're offering, and you can sort of submit a proposal, but they're so few and far between. So maybe, sort of, kind of, not really. Joy says, where I don't break the bank. Definitely talk to Caesar or check out the stuff that I got on my website in the VO Gear page. Masonry Construction says Upwork is free, but only includes 10 connects per month. Pretty useless. But buy the membership for $20, which includes 100 connects. There you go. Maybe buy more. Then send out a lot of proposals. Still worth it. Yeah, if you're choosing to be active on Upwork, it would be worth it for sure. Caesar says, need suggestions. Audio Technica AT 2020 is a good place to start, Joy. But you'll need to pair it with a good interface. A Focusrite Scarlett Solo or Audient ID4 are also good choices. I agree with those choices. Brian says to Caesar, if you review your mics like you use your humor, people will come. Absolutely. Build it and people will come. Caesar says to Brian, thank you. Thank you. I am deeply motivated. You should be. You should be. Absolutely. Masonry Construction says Fiverr right now has a marketing thing. You can also do a PPC with them. Not real exciting, but some clicks of mine are only 5 cents. Yes, you can boost your gigs. It's not boosting, it's promoting. You can promote your gigs for sure. Yeah, they started that a while back. Yeah, Fiverr is a whole different animal. Fiverr's a whole different animal. Joy says to Caesar, could you hook me up? Yeah. I think you guys, isn't there a thread? I think there's a thread in our Discord where you can actually talk just about gear, right? I think that would be a good place to go. And then that way other members can get in there and see other things that you recommend, Caesar, and why. But definitely a YouTube channel for you reviewing in your own style with your personality. I think that would do really, really well. Would definitely do that. Yep. Chris says, yeah, #gear in our Discord. Yep. Caesar says to Joy, sure thing. We could talk on Discord. I know like mic things. That's what he does. He's funny and he knows mic things. Caesar, French accents are sexy. Dylan says, I think that thread is Caesar's homepage. What? #gear? For sure. All right, guys, I got to run, but I hope you guys have a fantastic day. I hope something, or maybe you picked up a couple little nuggets here or there today. If you're watching this in Team Replay, if there's anything that you would like us to discuss as a group, perhaps next week or a coming week, then please leave it in the comments below. I appreciate your time. I appreciate your watches. And please don't forget to like and consider subscribing. Really appreciate it. Thank you so much, everybody. And I'll be here next week. And I was on time this week with time change. I didn't screw that up. So I'll be here next week. I'll see everybody then. Bye. Thank you for listening to She-Lancer Mom Entrepreneur with VoiceOver Angela. That's me. For more information about me, visit my website, voiceoverangela.com, or hop on over to my YouTube channel, VoiceOver Angela. Again, thanks for listening. Have a great day.